Hey everybody, so we're back. We're gonna do another video.
Yeah, so we actually just had like a few other things that we kind of wanted to talk about. So, one of the things was I very recently, my friend Abby, she told me that after, about like a year and a half, she found out that she had PCOS. And backtracking a couple of years ago now, I found out that I had PCOS, and one of the reasons was because like my weight, like in 1 year, like shot up like 90 pounds, and they were increasingly alarmed. They're like, "Oh my gosh, like this is a lot of weight," and I had not hardly eaten like hardly anything. Started like just gaining like 3 pounds a week more, like it was just awful. And it started once I had my prednisone shot. And if anybody knows anything about that, when you get your prednisone shot, and for women, especially girls who are dealing with a PCOS issue, and it's not well known, it can cause your weight to skyrocket. So I feel like God used me in that sense to help my little best friend Abby. She's been almost like a family member to me, and I'm sure she doesn't want all of her business out there, and so I'll keep it just very minimal. But I just wanted her to know that I'm really, really happy that she's entered into my life, and that she's also been a positive influence on me as well. Believe she just turned 17. I think it was a couple months ago. But I just wanted to say this, and then I'll let Sam get into hers. God using me to help her, send her in the right direction, I feel like was my purpose. And I feel like if I could help one person, then they can help change the lives of others. I know that it wasn't very well known when I found out that I had PCOS. Like, they didn't have any testing, really. Like, it's been kind of, like, minimal. Now they can test, and you get the results, like, within a couple hours. Like, so...
Yeah, that was... With me, I went to, of course, the OB when I was... like 14, I think.
Yeah.
And my OB said that I had PCOS.
Yeah.
But she didn't test me.
Yeah.
For anything at all.
Yeah, they basically just, back in the day, they just went off of criteria.
And what they saw.
And they don't give you any information to really use to change your life. And so... For me, growing up with it, it was a whole different ball game than young ladies now that are dealing with it, because there's so much more research. So my encouraging advice to anybody who may be struggling with it is don't fear going to the doctor now, because if you notice it, you can change it a lot sooner than waiting until you're like 30 like me, or almost 30 like me. So, yes, there's a whole bunch of different types of PCOS. There's not just one. There's like 4 or 5. And it's 1 in 4 women have PCOS. It is a genetic thing, but it can also just happen in your body whenever, especially if you have diabetes, a history of diabetes, or you have any other type of like endocrine, or I want to say there's another one. It's not thyroid. It's some type of hormone. Hold on, I'm trying to think of it, but I can't think of it. But there's another type of Hashimoto's. Yeah. Hashimoto's is definitely like one of those things that kind of works with the adrenaline. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different types of PCOS.
Yeah, and when I was diagnosed with it, at 14. I was given metformin, and then, almost 4 years ago, when I went to a new OB, she, of course, they're in the pap smear and everything. She said, I don't have any of the symptoms of PCOS.
Yeah.
So I was given metformin and all of that for absolutely nothing. So for me, it was a complete misdiagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I really showed of PCOS is extreme hair growth, regrowth on other parts of the body.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
There were no cysts.
Yeah, and there's different types. All you have to do is meet 2 out of the 3 criteria of it, and if you don't have it, that's good. But if you do have it, definitely try to, or if you think you have it, definitely try to get help, because it is not something you want to deal with like 10 years later down the road, because it will cause other problems.
Yeah.
Like with extreme weight gain, caused me to have like super, super bad blood pressure problems. Like it's been so hard to deal with. It really has.
That's why we ultimately need to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything else. Like me, I started actually just last week. I did 4 days of a nothing but fruits and vegetables and drinking my water. And I
bet you felt better after that too, didn't you?
I really did. And
like it just made you kind of feel like clean.
Yeah.
Like your body is like getting like the exact like things that it needed to get.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot more energy. So the weekend I let it go for the weekend. But other than that, I started back up on Monday, and I've been pretty good at doing it. I've had fast food twice this week, so that was actually one of my goals with Brandon, because he's continuing to help me with my weight loss and all of that. Even though he's not personal trainer anymore, he still has that background and everything else. So he's really helping me not only with that, but he's also helping me with trying to brand myself and what I want everything to be like in the next 5 years and how to get there and everything like that. So
yeah, which Sam is kind of working on some shirts and stuff, which is pretty cool.
I'm in the process right now of working on getting t-shirts made and where I want to get them made or what website I want to make them from. That's the issue that I'm having right now, but with help from a few people, I am finding out where and what I can do on each website and everything like that.
You'll get it. I feel like it just takes a lot of like shopping around just to try to like figure out which platforms you want to go with and which ones like have, you know, fees that they take out for certain things, and it's kind of challenging.
It is a process and it does take time, but if you're truly looking at doing it, then you need to do it.
Yeah.
And go
if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Yes. So, with that being said, what I want to talk about is, so I've mentioned a few people in previous videos, and with the healing process and everything, oh geez, oh Pete. With the healing process, I started talking to a friend, Dr. EbonyAshley, through Zoom and all of that stuff. And since talking with her for the last, I think we've been talking for like the last 3 months.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed like a lot of like really positive changes like in your life. Like you're able to like almost like let go of things that might hurt you or might have affected you like very, very drastically. And it's almost like you're able to maneuver through it a lot faster.
Yeah.
You know? Like the processing of everything is a lot like quicker.
Yeah. So, for example, in the last video that we just posted, with my client passing away, I had more peace with them passing away and understanding and being grateful that I was there for the last 6 months of his life and brought so much joy to his life, even though the last 6 months he was struggling.
Yeah.
And of course we all have our bad days and everything. And he told me a few weeks ago, he said, "You truly bring joy back into my life."
Aww. Oh, that's so sweet.
So with him passing away, I had more peace. And, of course, at the same time, yes, I did have my crying spells and everything like that. But I just
it made it all worth it.
Yes, it made it all worth it. And I know that's what
Yeah.
I am here to do. Yes, it is part of life.
Yeah.
And
it's the part of life that you just don't want to even really think about sometimes. Like,
yeah,
how one moment, you know, like somebody could be there and then the next moment.
Because that's literally what it was
Yeah.
with him. I was there with him on Monday.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, he was in the hospital after having a stroke. And Wednesday morning, he was gone. It was fast.
Super sudden. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, after talking to Dr. EbonyAshley, me letting people go, letting go of the toxicity.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a big one. You just kind of, you have to get through it.
Yeah. I am starting to realize that I am healing. And after talking to her, it really is helping. And the healing process, it just like it says, healing is a process.
Yeah, it is.
Healing
Definitely.
is a process, and it does take time, but you have to keep pushing through. You cannot give up. You have to keep pushing through.
It's like a book. If you rush through the book, there's not really any meaning to it.
Exactly.
But if you rush through your healing process, you're not going to be fully healed by the time you get
because you're not
to the
getting
end.
down to the deep roots of
Right.
the cause
Right.
of what is making...
Which I think that you've gotten down to the deep parts, you know, to an extent.
Yeah, there's definitely still some work to do, but I have limited my communication with a lot of people in my life. And that really has...
Honestly, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not here to crap talk anybody, but I've definitely limited a lot of people from my past.
Yes.
Gone. Like, not pushed you know, I kind of pushed them back on the burner a little bit, because priorities, you know. If you can't find somebody who can prioritize themselves, you know, and take care of themselves first, and then have a friendship with somebody, you know, it's like, then you'll bring on a lot of their baggage, and it's like, oh my gosh. Because if you're already stressed, for me, like, I get through it, you know. I try to give myself to everybody. Oh gosh, I try to give myself to everybody. Same. And then it ends up like spiraling, and then something happens and I just can't do it. So you know what I've started doing, girl? I started giving to myself first.
Yes. Because
it's okay to be a little bit of selfish, okay? So girl, if you're out there, or guy, if you're out there and you're watching this and you're being a little bit, you know, like stand back-ish in your relationships, that's okay. Take as much time as you need. Because you can only give to yourself what you got.
You can't... I think we've said it in a previous video, but you can't pour out into others unless if you actually pour into yourself.
Yeah.
And you take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Most importantly, you have to take care of yourself first before you can even try to take care of somebody else.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. I think that's a good way to end. Letting go of toxic people.
Let go of the toxic people, places, and things.
Ooh, that's good. Letting go of the people, places, and things in our life that cause us to not reach our full potential.
You want to do an exercise with me?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to do another video? We're at 17 minutes. Okay, we're going to do another video, guys.
Yeah, so on the next video...